Good afternoon everybody, Jayne here from Fields Lodge Bed and Breakfast, your bed and breakfast specialist for Pembrokeshire, bringing you the best of Pembrokeshire and bringing you the best of Pembrokeshire in a safe way. So I thought I'd come on today to just let you know what happens in Fields Lodge so that you can be sure that you are safe and protected when you're here. And maybe tell you a few things that maybe you didn't know yourself. So firstly, just thank you very much for spending some time with me today. If you're watching live, please put #live in the comments, and if you're watching on replay, please put #replay, as I'd like to come back and say thank you for spending some time with me. But I don't really want to join the bandwagon of everybody creating mayhem out of this coronavirus. But I do think it's important that you understand that when you come here, you are safe. And also I might share one or two hints and tips that will help you stay safe yourself. So as you know, hand washing is very definitely advised as the best thing to keep yourself safe, and hand washing with just ordinary soap and water, but for 20 seconds. Happy birthday twice. And if you watched my previous video, then I gave you the actual hand washing technique for you to use to keep yourself safe and to make sure that your hands are completely bacteria free. So today I thought I'd tell you a bit more about what we're doing here and maybe tell you a few things that you're not aware of yourself. So the first thing I want to show you is this is what we use for our anti-bac spray in the B&B. This is food safe, and as you probably are aware, it says kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses, and it's food safe, and this is the make that is quite happily endorsed by our health inspectors. And why this is a good one to have is because this is effective on contact. Now you may probably have never read the back of your anti-bac sprays, because you know this is not the cheapest, as you might imagine. In Fields Lodge we tend not to use the cheap stuff, but the reason why there's quite a difference in price of antibacterial spray is because some of the cheaper versions need to be on the surface for a certain amount of time before they are effective. This is instant, so you can spray it and then you can wipe it with a clean cloth. We always use paper cloths here, and the paper cloths get thrown away, so that's the best way of doing it. But obviously when you're in your own home, you're probably using your own cloth, but obviously here we use paper cloths and then dispense with them. But if you read the back, and sometimes on the back it says to ring a number to get the actual full details of how it's to work. And I did this experiment, and there were some versions that were saying they're antibacterial, etc., which indeed they are, but the worst I came across was that one needed to be left for 5 minutes before you wiped it off. So just be aware of that, folks, when you're buying. Don't necessarily just go for the cheapest one, go for the one that's most effective, because the whole reason we're buying this is to get rid of the bacteria and the viruses. So there's no point buying one that you're going to wipe off before it is effective. So this we use, it's safe for food preparation, so it's used in the kitchen, it's used throughout the B&B. It's used on door handles, it's used on remote control, it's used on all of the surfaces that you're likely to touch. So you can be sure when you enter a room that your room is sanitized as much as we can possibly do that. So that's a hint and tip for you. Then as an extra precaution, now, when guests come in, I have got hand sanitizer. This one is an essential oil hand sanitizer, and also scattered about the B&B now I have got boxes of tissues. Every room always has had tissues, but I have these scattered now about the place. And another hint and tip for you: pop out and buy the cheaper version of tissues, because I have evidenced when people buy the thicker ones, they will use the tissue and they will then put the tissue up their sleeve or in their pocket or something, where the advice is to use it and bin it. So if you buy the cheaper version of tissues, they actually are not much use other than for a one-time use. So they're perfect in this situation for using and binning. So I've got these scattered about the place, because the advice is, if you're going to sneeze or cough, do so into a tissue. So whereas normally I would be buying the most expensive of everything, I have observed that it's actually better to go and buy these one-go things. If you're anywhere near a home bargains shop, I mean, we buy ours from a wholesaler, but if you're anywhere near a home bargains shop, they have got them in there at a very reasonable price as well. So don't go buying the most expensive ones of those, because you want to use it once and throw it away. So we've got, as I've said, hand sanitizers. This is, as I said, an essential oil one, which I showed you how to make the other day. I've got a chemical one in by the breakfast room now as well. So as soon as you come into the B&B, we've got hand sanitizers, and then every guest has their own hand sanitizer as well. All the surfaces, as I've said, are sanitized. So we are, hopefully, as much as we can be, a bacteria and virus free zone. Then some extra protocols that we're doing, which I think things like this is good to make you think about what to do. So we are now using separate cloths for each room, whereas we would use a cloth to wipe the windowsills, shall we say. We're now, when we go into a guest's room, the cloths that we use to clean that room are only used to clean that room, and then they are put for washing. So there's absolutely no chance of any cross-contamination. We're all wearing gloves when we clean now, just to keep ourselves clean as well, and also to make sure that the environment is left as clean as we can. So we have individual cloths for each of the various different surfaces: windowsills, floors, bathrooms, glassware, etc. And they then get put in the wash straight away, and a different set of cloths come out to do the next room. Then at the moment, then all of our cloths and our towels are all being washed on a hotter wash, which isn't necessarily eco-friendly, but I think at the moment it's more important to make sure that we are washing our cloths on the highest wash, so that we are killing bacteria. So we're undertaking that protocol at the moment, and maybe when things calm down we can go back to using a more eco-friendly wash, but at the moment we're going to stick with the hotter wash. In the kitchen then, with the crockery and the cutlery, you may or may not know this is not a change, but we have got a professional dishwashing machine, which then not only cleans the plates but sterilizes them. So all of our cutlery and crockery is sterilized before it goes out as well. So I thought you may like to know what we're doing to keep you safe, and to know that when you come through the door you can relax and rest assured that you can be safe with us. If there's any questions at all, because obviously I live and breathe hygiene, food safety and making sure our guests are safe, then by all means either drop me a direct message or pop a comment in the comment box, and I'm happy to come back to you. If anybody wants a reminder of the recipe for the essential oil hand sanitizer, then just let me know and I can pop that off to you then. Happy to do that. Any other questions? Don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Be delighted to hear from you. I'm going to leave you now. It's raining in Pembrokeshire today. Today is a day for catching up on some reading in front of a lovely fire. So have a good day, folks. See you all again soon. Bye.